So we have been working on a few things this week. Can somebody tell me what are some of the skills and the strategies that we've been working on? Oliver.
Wait, what topic?
The topic in ELA.
Oh.
What do we talk about in the last few days? We have posters around the classroom. We have flexible groups that are going to be around that topic. What have you been working around in the last few days? Rory.
We've been working on point of view, like the first person, the second person, and the third person.
Okay, we've been working on point of view. What else have we been working on? Aaron.
Opinion.
Opinion. Can somebody tell me what opinion is? What's an opinion? Quinn. Okay, it's something that you think of that somebody else can have a different idea. So, for example, my shoes are black. Is that an opinion? No. I think my shoes are the prettiest shoes in the classroom.
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion. Okay. So what else have we were working? Point of view, opinion. What else? What else?
Compound words.
Compound words. Can somebody give me an example of a compound word? Let's see. Mateo. Post office. We can give me another word. Isa? Sandbox. Okay, so now let's kind of go back. Point of view, compound words, opinion. What else? Ben? Figurative language. What kind of figurative language? We have so many. What is one that we've been working on? Similes. Can somebody give me an example of a simile? Simile. Violet. You are like a cupcake. Am I like a cupcake? Why?
You're so sweet.
Because I'm so sweet. All right. And what else? Do we have anything else we've been working on? Ooh, really? So when you have a story, you need
Prediction? A main idea?
you need a main idea, but with the people in your story are called what, Angelo? Characters, isn't it? The people in your story are called character, and that's why we've been learning about point of view, because characters do what? Can a character change? Yeah. So that's why we've been looking at point of view, because we're learning about how characters can change. Can you change? Can you change your opinion? Can you change your point of view about things? Why and how? How can you change your point of view about something? Allison. Can you say that a little louder?
Maybe something happened to someone to make their opinion change.
Maybe something happened to you and made that opinion change. Quinn, do you want to add something to it? Something persuaded you to change. Very good. All right. So we're going to do a read aloud, and then we're going to get into a flexible group. So everything that we discussed in the last few minutes is part of a read aloud. So I want you to think about the point of view of the characters. I want you to think about the characters. I want you to think about if you are able to find or recognize any compound words. I want you to think about the theme. Do you know what a theme is? A theme. Do you know, Aaron?
Yeah, a theme is like a specific, it's basically like a topic.
A topic, okay. It's the Emerald.
I'd like to add on to Aaron. Theme is like what the story is about.
It's the story is about, so the lesson that the characters are learning. Okay, that's the theme. Okay, so are we ready, guys? Okay, so I want you to think about making predictions. So I have this poster here. So making predictions are clues in the stories and things you already know. Can tell you what may happen next. So every time I read a paragraph, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask you to think about making predictions, okay? And I want you to make inferences. Do you know what making inferences are? Who can tell me? Let's see, who has not said anything yet? Sophie, tell me about making inferences.
Like when there's some details in a story, and then you can infer what they're telling you.
So inferences, use the clues in the text to discover what is not directly stated. Okay, so you become detectives. You're looking for all those clues in the stories to make your predictions. Okay, so are you guys ready? Okay, let me fix my microphone and then I'll be ready. Okay. Are you all excited? Okay. Ready? Okay. So I'm going to be reading today a little story about a girl whose name was Naomi Leon. Okay? So in this part, we are going to learn that Naomi, whose last name is Outlaw, lives with her grandmother and her little brother Owen in a trailer park. In this story, she has many obstacles that she needs to overcome. Do you know what an obstacle is? Do you know what an obstacle is? Sam? A challenge. Have you ever had an obstacle in your life? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So I want you to think about this little girl. Her name is Naomi, and she had some obstacles that she needs to overcome. So I want you to find a partner that is sitting close to you, and I want you to make a prediction about what will be an obstacle that she might have in this story. I know you don't know many things about her. We know that she lives in a trailer park. She has a little brother. She lives with her grandmother. What do you think would be an obstacle that she might have? You guys can do 3. Mateo, do you have a partner? Just make sure you can be part of that group. One, two, three, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
All right, so I'm just gonna call in 2 people. Who has a really good obstacle that you think Naomi might have in this story? Isa.
Maybe because she lives in like a trailer in the trailer park. Like she doesn't have like a home or an apartment, so she might get bullied at school.
Ooh, so she might be bullied at school because of where she lives. Okay, because somebody has a different obstacle that you think that Naomi might have. Jackson.
Well, I have 2. Should I say one?
Just one.
So, well, her last name is Outlaw. So she might also get made fun of at school because her name is kind of outlaw. Yeah.
Outlaw, like
Yeah.
trouble?
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? Nicole, you have one. Okay, share.
I think an obstacle might be since she lives in a trailer, she might have to share a lot of things with her grandma and little brother.
Okay. So when I start reading the story, I want you to think about the point of view. Okay, who's telling the story? Who's the narrator? So I want you to look for that clue while I'm reading. Are you ready? Okay. So there we were, minding our own lives with the same obedience as a clock ticking. A few weeks earlier, the sun had switched to its winter bedtime. So even though it was early evening, the sky was dark as pine pitch. That meant that Graham, Owen, and I couldn't sit outside on the white rock patio. Instead, we had to crowd around the drop-down table in the living room kitchen of Baby Beluga. That was what Graham called her mainstream trailer. She was the absolute expert at calling things what they resemble and thought it looked like a miniature whale next to all the double whites at Avocado Acres Trailer Rancho. Why didn't you think that she couldn't sit outside? Does anybody pick that up? Why didn't you think that she couldn't sit outside? Dash. Because there's what? It's snow outside. Raphael? I can hear you, Lo. It was dark. Okay. Cassie?
Because it's winter, it's really cold.
It's really cold. Okay. Are we ready? The trailer park was called this because it was surrounded on 3 sides by the largest avocado ranch in Lemon Tree, California. The same lemon tree did not appeal to Graham's sense of description because, as she pointed out, there wasn't a stick of citrus inside. A giant plastic lemon did sit on a pedestal at the Spray and Play, a combination car wash deli playground at one of our favorite places. That lemon was a tribute to the fact that there used to be fruit in San Diego County. before the builders came and put a house on every scratch of spare dirt, except for the avocado grove, which was smack in the middle of town and the last country fireland in Lemon Tree. We had already put away the dinner dishes from Wednesday's chicken and bake, and Owen started racing through his second grade homework like a horse on a tear. People were usually fooled by his look and thought he was low in his school due to being born with his head tilted to one side and scrunched down next to his shoulder. It had strained a little after 3 surgeries at the children's hospital, but he still talked with a permanent frog voice because of something inside being pinched. One of his legs was shorter than the other, so he walked like a rocking horse, but other than that, he was just fine. Contrary to people's first opinion, he got the best grades in his class. Why do you think people thought that he was not smart? Why do you think people thought that he was not smart? Landon?
Because he looked different.
He looked different? Okay. So does it mean because you look different you're not smart? Emerald?
Because maybe he could focus on school and only be able to focus on like having surgery and stuff, so he wouldn't be able to have much time for school.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Naomi was a little sensitive about her brother?
Yeah.
How? Mateo?
Maybe because she was scared that people will make fun of him because he looks different.
Okay, but he looked different. Was he smart?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you know? What is she telling you about her brother? How do you know that he's a smart boy? Sophie?
He got the highest grade.
He got the highest grade in his class. Jackson?
And also it says in the, like it says that he raced through his homework, so he's probably really good at it.
Really good at it. Okay, so there's a word that I don't know. I don't know well, and I need your help to figure out what the meaning of this word is. So I want you to pay attention to the sentence. It says, contrary to people's first opinions, he got the best grades in his class. Does anybody know what the word contrary means? So let me read this again. Contrary to people's first opinions, he got the best grades in his class. So use your context clues. Contrary. Rory.
I think it sort of means like besides, because he's like, 'cause in the sentence it makes sense because there's besides how he looks and.
Okay, so contrary. So besides what other people think. Okay, Oliver.
I think it means on the other hand.
And the other hand, okay. Ben. Adding on to their opinion, or maybe against to that opinion. Okay, Raphael. Can you speak louder so they can hear?
Contrary means like not quite what if like they don't think he's smart, but he actually is.
Okay.
So kind of like against the actual. the truth.
So like the opposite of what other people think. Okay. Graham in her usual polyester pantsuit and running shoes was doing her weekly hair set, rolling what little blue hair she had in those new curls that require no hairpins. I was not being mean about her hair. It just really looked blue in the sunlight. And I'm all over my sorry situation at school, which was 3 boys in my 5th grade class who had decided that Outlaw was the funniest last name in the universe. They did not give an ounce of peace. Wait, who made that prediction that they were going to make fun of her? Jackson. Have you robbed any banks lately? Was one of their favorite sayings, along with jumping out at me, throwing their arms in the air and yelling, "Is this a stick up?" My teacher, Mrs. Morimoto, said to ignore them, but I had tried and did not good. I was fed up, so I was making a list of what I could say back to them that might be embarrassing. So I want you to go back to those partners. If you were in a group of 3, that's okay. Do you think she's going to say something to those kids And can you make a prediction of what you think she might say to them? What do you think they're going to say?
I think that she is going to say something out of anger, like, at least my last name isn't dinosaurs, turtle egg, or something like that.
Flat tire. Okay, who wants to make a prediction of what you think she's going to say back to those boys? Giancarlo, what do you think she's going to say?
Maybe she's gonna say like
Something
something mean to them.
mean to them. Let's see, Nicole, what do you think?
So I think she's gonna say something to her, and I think she's gonna say that it's not her fault she has that last name.
Okay. Do you think she's embarrassed of her last name?
Yeah.
You think so?
No.
No.
Okay. Angela.
I think she's gonna try to find a way to try to make fun of their names.
Landon.
I think someone might stop her from saying something mean, and they'll say that like maybe saying something mean back isn't the best option.
Oh, so maybe it's the opposite. She's going to say anything. Do you want to hear what she's going to do? Yeah. All right. So I was fed up, so I was making a list of what I could say back to them that might be embarrassing. I wrote across the top of my notebook page, how to get boys to stop making fun of my name. I scooted my book in front of Graham to see if she had any ideas. Naomi, I have lived with that name since I was married. Your great-grandpa, rest his soul, almost 50 years ago, and I am due proud. Besides, there are worse things in life than that last name. But you don't go to Buena Vista Elementary, I said. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the response that Grandma gave her, and then what Naomi said, and what can you infer that's going to happen next? Make a prediction. What do you think? Think about the clues. Do you think she's going to do it, or you think she's going to let it go? Talk to your partners.
I think she might actually do it, but I also think they're going to
Like the grandma saying, like the last name's special, but I kind of think that Naomi, like as you said, you didn't go to the elementary school, so I think she's also thinking like it's just the same experience, the last name.
But we don't know that. Maybe she had, isn't it? Maybe when Grandma was younger. All right. Flat tire. So what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think is going to happen next? Cooper.
I think she's gonna do it, and the boys would be like, okay, bye, and then they go along.
Okay, so you think that she's going to use some wise words, she's going to say something, and then the boys are going to be like, bye-bye. Okay, Raphael, what do you think?
I think that she's going to try and persuade her grandma that it's a good idea, and then the grandma's going to say, no, there are better ways to solve that.
There's-
And because like if you ignore the person, they're not going to, and they won't think it's funny or something else. I don't know.
Good job. So I have a question. So how many characters do we have in the story? Well, we have few, but how many are the ones that really are characters that they have a conversation, they have dialogue between them? Two. I think two. So who would be who? Naomi and then Grandma. So both of them have a very different point of view about this situation, isn't it? Okay. Do you understand each point of view? Yes. Okay. Can somebody tell me the point of view of the grandma? Somebody tell me, what's the point of view of the grandma? Allison, what is the point of view of the grandma? Okay, so her point of view is they work very hard, and that she should be proud because she's proud of that. last name. What's the point of view of Naomi?
She
Cassie.
doesn't like her last name because people make fun of her for it, and she thinks it's a bad last name.
It's a bad last name. Okay. What's your point of view? What's your point of view about this situation? Mateo.
I say she should find a good comeback.
Okay. But so your point of view about the last name? What would you do if you had a last name that you didn't like? Would you change it?
No.
No. Would you be proud of it?
Yeah, because it's cool. It's like, I like the last name Outlaw, because then it's like, it's way cooler than just like a normal last name. Like, I don't know, I can't come up with it. But like,
So you'll be proud of that last name. Good. So who is the narrator in the story? Who's the narrator in the story? Who's telling you the story? Besides Ms. Fernandez reading along, who's telling you the story? Sophia. Naomi. So the story is written on her point of view and how she feels, isn't it? Did you see any opinions in this read along? Were you able to recognize any opinions?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rory?
One opinion is that Grandma thought that it was a good name, and
Okay.
she liked it, and she's proud of it. And that's sort of an opinion because you can choose if you like the name or you don't.
So her opinion is to be proud of her name. What's Naomi's opinion about her last name?
And she doesn't like her last name.
She doesn't like it. And what is the opinion of the kids at school who are giving her a hard time? Bear, sorry.
They think her name is really funny.
Really funny. Oh, and there's more opinions. What about the little brother? The little brother. There's an opinion there, isn't it? What do the kids think about him? Nicole?
They don't think he's smart.
They don't think he's smart. And what does Naomi think about her brother? What's her opinion about her brother? Remy?
That he's smart.
He's smart, isn't it? He's one of the smartest kids in the school, isn't it? All right. And let's see. So we cover point of view. We cover opinion. We make predictions. We make inferences. I have one more thing. Ready for this? What is the theme? What is the lesson learned in this story?
It's already over.
Yeah. What is the lesson the theme? What is the lesson learned in this story? Giancarlo, what do you think?
Maybe just because somebody has a funny name doesn't mean you have to like make fun of them.
Do you have to make fun of? Maybe okay, shake it off. My Taylor Swift famous words, shake it off. What do you think is the theme? What can you learn? You, not Naomi, no grandma, not the kids at the school. What did you learn from this lesson? Angela.
To be proud.
To be proud, why?
You can like just to be proud of like who you are and your name and what you're doing.
Were you anything? Just be proud of who you are. All right. So boys and girls, you did a great job. And I'm sorry, I'll read aloud. It's over. But you guys are going to go back. Mateo, you want to share one thing? Okay.
So I don't know if it's called this, but does a little boy have, I think it's called Stephen Hawking's disease?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have that?
I don't know. We can actually check out the book, and maybe we can find out a little more about little brother if you want to do that. Okay? All right. So 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So I need everybody to listen. We are going to get into flexible groups. If you want, listen carefully. When you're done and you already read the materials and the work that you have to do, I do want you to know that I went to the library and I checked out some of the mentor textbooks that the Unit 4 has. So I do have some mentor texts. So if you're interested and you want to scan them, you want to look at them, you're more than welcome to come and get them. But make sure we keep them back here because they are part of the library. Okay, they're all on point of view and they're 4th and 5th grade, so they're all combined. Okay, some topics are more specific for one grade level than the other. So before we get into flexible groups, I want to go back to our essential questions. Remember we talked about our essential questions? Okay, so we have 2 essential questions. So if you're a 5th grader, raise your hand. Okay, so 5th grader, can you look at here and tell me which one is your essential question? What is the question that you're looking for to answer at the end of this week? Landon.
How can other perspectives help us evaluate the world?
How can other perspectives help us evaluate the world? So whose perspectives are we talking about? Sam? The author, okay? And then we're going to be focusing on 2 stories. What are those 2 stories? Sophia? I too, and I hear America sing, and they're 2 different poems. 4th grader, I need a 4th grader who can be very loud and read the essential question for us. Aaliyah.
What do we learn when we look at the world through the eyes of others?
So what do you think we can learn when we're looking at the world through the eyes of others? So think about the characters in the 2 stories that you're reading. What can you learn? We don't have to be perfect in our answer. We are going to gather more ideas. But what do you think we can learn? Rafael, super loud.
Be able to tell that something's they're going through something maybe.
Okay, can you say that again?
You might be able to tell if they're going through something.
If they're going through something, okay, what else? Emerald.
You can learn like why they did something.
Why they did something, so why they make those choices. Rory?
You can understand more how they're feeling and their feelings are.
Very good. You guys are superstars. I'm not sure if I need to do this point of view for 3 weeks. You might get all the answers by the end of Friday. Huh, we'll see. All right, so are we ready, guys? Yes. All right, so when you hear the bell, you're going to go to your place. You're going to get your stuff, and when you hear the second bell, what are you going to do? You're going to go to your group. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. So, guess what? I got some cool books, and what I want to do today is I want to have you choose the book that you want to read, okay? So I'm going to give you a few choices, and then I'm going to give you a little time between the 3 of you guys, and you're going to decide which book you want to read, okay? Are you ready? We have 2 fairy tales, okay? Have you ever heard about Hansel and Gretel and... Never? Okay, so you have? Okay. So I have 2 fairy tales. Would you like to look at it to kind of get an idea of how this book is? Okay. All right. Okay, it's going to be, look at it, look at it, look at it. And that talks about opinions. So take just a quick second, look at the book. To just scan this book. Ready? Are you ready for the second one? Okay. So you can keep that one. Then we have Wally Smithers and the Germ Squad. So you guys are boys. Do you like germ? Yeah? No? You don't like germ? Okay. Yes.
Can we get an iPad so we can like research? Because I'm wondering, because I wonder if horses are smarter than dogs. Because
yes, you can get an iPad. All right, so Germ Squad. So look at Germ Squad. See if you like that book.
Wow, this is a small book.
Small book, but it looks like has full of like a lot of information, isn't it? Sometimes when you get small book, it's a little more complicated, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do want to hear when you're done looking at the books. I want to hear why you selected a specific book, okay? But now we're going to have to agree, because I can read 3 different books with you guys. That would be a little crazy for me, isn't it? All right, ready? Can you imagine? Yeah? Oh my goodness. Make my life easier, please. All right, ready? And this, I think Quinn will totally love this book, don't you think? Yeah. It's called I Am Deaf and I Dance. You know what deaf means? Yeah. Somebody that can hear. Okay? Sordo. So that's the next one. So Quinn will totally love that book.
Except the best part.
Okay?
I already have mine.
You do?
Yeah, check out.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Just a reminder that when you are writing your opinion, the evidence needs to come from the stories. Okay? You can use technology to learn a little more, but that the evidence that you're using in your opinion needs to come through the story. Okay? Just a reminder. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, I'll be back. Okay, so guys, come over here. Look at this. So I would not do too much research because you're not gonna have time.
We're just wondering if horses are smart.
But we can do that after we're done with our writing. Because right now you have to start working on this, okay? So let's do this. Which animals is easier to picture in your mind? The dog in Here Boy or Misty in Waiting for the Storm? So you have to really think about the information that the author is giving you, the description that the author is giving you about this animal, okay? And then think about, close your eyes, and when you're thinking about the story that you're reading, think about which one you have more details. So think about, you have the dog who is in this store, close your eyes. Good job. You have this dog who's in the store and is making a mess. And then you have Stormy in the story who's struggling in that dream. She might be, Mitzi is having maybe a baby. So think about which one you're picturing more. Okay. Does anybody have a better picture? Do you know, Aaliyah?
Yes.
Who do you think?
I think the dog.
The dog? Who do you think?
I think the dog too.
I think the dog.
All right, so now that you have that, now go back to the story. You have your little book and go and highlight. Find all the details, all the things that you can use in your writing, okay? Are you guys good?
Yeah.
All right. How are we doing? How are we doing, guys?
Good.
You
We're kind
good?
of confused on how we have to write, why we have to write the hook.
No, the writing organizer was for you just to keep it in your folder. You don't need to use this because you're doing a very quick, it's okay, don't erase it right now. You can do that later. This is just, it was for you to guide into a writing opinion later on, okay? So it's just a resource for later on. You're just writing a little essay about which one gives you more emotions. You can have a hook when you're writing your emotions, okay?
Should we just write the essay in this?
Yes, okay? How are we doing here? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Are we good here? Yeah, there's 2 compound words. There's 2. Yeah, you can do it. Oh, here. Do you read instructions here? So it says search in shade. So you're going to search. You're going to write the 2 compound words and then you can color the next one. So you want me to give you an example? Give me one word here that is a compound word. Skylight or football? Football. So you're going to write football and then you're going to color. See that?
Then you're going to keep doing that.
You're going to do the next word and then you can do the other word there. I will go down instead to the side.
Okay, can you cross them out?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're good? Do you guys choose a book already? Ooh, I'm coming back. How are we doing here, guys? Any questions before I leave?
So
Ben.
on this, don't we go to this?
Yes, build, reflect, and write. Yeah, that's your graphic organizer.
Read the other stories?
You are right now only reading 2 stories. I Hear America Singing and I Too. Yeah, the 2 poems. Yeah, that's what you're going to be working on. That makes sense? All right, ready? You need me? No? Okay. I got confused when I saw Waiting for Stormy. You're a 4th grader, that's why. 4th graders, you got it?
We have to do this.
Okay, you want to work on that? Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to close my eyes and show me the book. Wait, oh, really? You guys, wow. So can you tell me why you decided to read this book? Hold on, one at a time. Who wants to go first? Okay.
So we choose this book because both of the books are not, these books are not real, but this one is, and it doesn't matter who you are. It matters what you do.
Ooh, so you're using your opinion. So you didn't like this too because they're not like real stories.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you call a book when it's not a real story?
Non-fiction.
A fiction or non-fiction? What do you guys say?
A fiction.
Fiction. Can somebody prove that for me?
Because fiction means fiction means fake, and non-fiction means
Real. Okay. So wow. So you like this because this is a real story and you want to know about a real person.
And because no matter what happened to you and who you are, it matters what you can do. And
Wow.
don't give up.
You guys are giving me the theme of this book and we haven't even read it yet. Wow. All right. So I want you to look at the front of this book. So it says, I am deaf and I dance, a memoir. Do you know what a memoir is?
I've never heard this.
You never heard that before, do you? What do you think a memoir could be?
I think a memoir could be a person who does something that they really like, but they can't really, they don't do most of it because they don't hear or see or know, you know, but they really want to do it, so they just do it.
So we're going to find out what a memoir is. And now, who do you think this lady is?
A dancer.
It's a dancer. So a memoir is a story about a person, and she's telling the story. She's remembering the pieces of the story, okay? So let's go to the back of this book. And if you look at the back of the book, it says it's a narrative nonfiction. What is a narrative? Do you know what a narrative is?
Like somebody saying a story?
It's when somebody tells a story. It says it's a story that happened to them. That's a narrative. Remember when you, at the beginning of the year, you have to write about something that happened to you? That's a narrative, okay? You're talking about your emotions and feelings and things that have happened to you, okay? And there is the book because they're in the same group, isn't it? All right, so let's open the book. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read where it says about narrative nonfiction. You can listen to me or you can read along. And narrative nonfiction texts are about the author's real life experience. They may tell a story about events the author witnessed. They may share things the author saw, did, or felt. Narrative nonfiction texts sometimes have a conflict or a problem and a resolution. What is a resolution? What it sounds like, resolution.
I've heard these words, but I don't know.
Okay, resolution.
You're reading something that
Think
has
about,
a solution in it.
okay, let's go back. They have a conflict or a problem, and then they have a resolution. So
Oh, it means like if someone has a problem.
okay. And what happens after you fix the problem? What is that?
Resolution.
That's a resolution. They may include photographs, captions, illustrations, and graphic aids to communicate information. So they are providing lots of visuals for you to understand the story, okay? So if you look at the bottom, it says features of a memoir. So we were kind of wondering what a memoir was, isn't it? Would somebody like to read the first one? Okay, Giancarlo.
A memoir is a narrative
Narrative
written
written
in the first person.
in the first person.
person.
Cooper, can you read the next one?
Yeah. It's
Focuses
focuses on a short period of time or several
several
related
related
events in a person's life.
All right, and Alejandro, do you want to read it with me? The next one? Okay. It relates events as the author remembers them. Let's read all of them together, the next one. It includes thoughts and feelings that explain why those particular events are important to the author. So do we have a better understanding now what a memoir is? Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next page. It's a very colorful page, isn't it? So I am deaf and I dance, a memoir. And I see a table of contents. Can somebody tell me why we have a table of contents?
So we know which chapter or paragraph or page we're on.
We're on, okay. And why is it a good idea to have a table of contents?
Then you
Because
know.
like you know that like when you know there's a topic in this book, so you might want to go to that
topic.
not just look through.
Very good, because if I said, Giancarlo, I really want you to talk to me about when she lived in Texas and Oregon, do you need to read the whole book?
No, you just have to go to page 12.
You only have to go to page 12. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
This one here, it's ready to start reading. He's really looking forward. All right. So we're going to go around. We're going to take turns and we're going to go around. Remember that we're working on our fluency. So when we see a period, what are we going to do? We're going to stop. We're going to breathe and then we're going to keep going. If you struggle with a word, what can we do?
We can sound it out.
We can sound it out, and we get really stuck, we can jump in and help each other, okay? All right, so I'm gonna give you a second to look at the pictures because I feel like you're looking at the illustration and getting a little excited. So look at the illustrations. You're in the wrong page. You were moving a little too fast for us. There you go, right there. So are you looking at the captions too of the book? So all this are, so you're looking at the captions. So they're giving you a little information about the picture. Giancarlo really wants to learn sign language. Okay. Are we ready? Okay, so we need to pay attention and we need to read carefully for comprehension as well because when we meet again, we're going to be writing about the story. Okay? Who would like to start first? You want to try? We're going to start with Washington, D.C. years. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
Ever since
I
I can remember, I wanted to be a dancer. When I was about 5 years old, my birth grandmother
taught me
taught me a dance
called
called the samba.
samba. Have you ever danced the samba? I'm going to teach you later.
Right.
That's like the Hawaiian dance, but I'll teach you samba. That's a good. Now, I noticed something. Do you notice a compound word?
Yes.
Do you notice that there was a compound word?
Oh yeah.
You remember, Alejandro, a compound word is where you have two words together? Really?
Grandmother.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Pff, good. All right, you want to continue? Good job. Let's go.
She was from
Brazil.
We
We call her
call her Vava,
Mm-hmm.
which means grandma in Portuguese.
even
Even
though
though I was born
deaf,
deaf and
couldn't
couldn't hear the music, I could feel the
by vibrations. Good job. Good job. That's pretty good. Can we say something to Alejandro about his reading?
You're doing way better in Spanish, and you're really sounding those words up, and great job.
Very good. All right. So who wants to read next? All right. Let's have Giancarlo.
When I dance, I am free to be me. I can say things in a way that I can't with words. I was also born with learning challenges. I have difficulties memorizing facts, reading, math, and
Managing.
managing money are especially challenging. I was often behind my friends in academic subjects, but things like dance and art have come easily to me. When I'm dancing or making art, I don't feel lonely or behind or different. I feel proud and confident.
So what are we learning about the paragraph? What is she saying about dancing?
She's saying that she really likes dancing, and she memorizing facts about dancing, and even though she can't hear, she goes with the flow.
Okay. So she's talking about her words and then she's talking about dance. Okay, what is she saying about words? What is she saying about her?
That she can't say the words.
She can say things with words, isn't it? So she can express her feelings with words. So how does she express her feelings? What does she use instead of words?
Sign language.
Sign language, but there's something here that she does to express herself. But it's a photo. But what is she doing here?
She can say things in a way that she can't say with words.
But what is she doing to say those things? Go back to the text. What is it? What is making her feel so happy because she's able to express?
I was dancing in art.
Okay, you said it. Bingo. So she can say words, but she can dance. And by dancing, she's able to express her feeling.
And by
See
doing
that?
art.
And by doing art. Okay, good job. Mr. Cooper, your turn.
Because I'm deaf.
Deaf.
American deaf. American Sign Language, aka ASL, because my first
Because or became?
became my first language. I communicated with hand and body movements and
Facial.
facial expressions.
Okay, can you guys give me a facial expression? Of like, if you're tired, what would be your facial expression? There you go. Just checking. Okay, go.
When I was 2, I started going to the
Kendall.
Kendall School at a school for deaf and hard of hearing children located in Washington, D.C., where I was born in 1990. That's where I learned ASL. One thing I love about sign language is that it's like dancing. I love communicating through movements. It's beautiful. There's so much energy in sign language.
So do you see how there are some words that are different color? Why are those different colors? Why do you think the author is putting those words in a different color?
Because he's saying that there's a different school for people who are deaf and hard of hearing.
Do you think maybe because those words are important for the text? All right. So what do we learn about this page?
We learn about
how she communicates with other people.
But that's in here give you a little information about what it means to be deaf and the places where she goes to get help. Yeah? Okay. Let's go to the next page. It's my turn, isn't it? Yeah. All right. The hardest thing about being deaf is communicating with hearing people. They often talk too fast. It is hard for me to read lips, and it's hard to make close friends with people if they don't know sign language. When I was 9, my birth family wasn't able to care for me anymore, and I needed to go into foster care. Peyton Moore was an occupational therapist, an OT at the Kendall School who knew sign language. Why do you think that the family was not able to take care of her anymore? Let's make a name for it. Because she couldn't hear?
Maybe she only knew sign language, and they didn't know sign language.
Maybe they didn't know, so they felt like maybe they didn't know how they were going to help her. Okay. She had recently became a foster parent and agreed to take me and my 3-year-old sister Dominic. So here it sounds like the parents gave her away. Sad, isn't it? Dominic is the lady that took care of her. I will never forget the day I arrived at Peyton's home. I was very nervous and sad to be leaving my birth family, but I was also excited to have someone who understood me and could communicate with me. A year later, my brother Michael moved in with us too. We were all adopted by Peyton in 2003. We still have to continue even if you guys. All right, they're leaving, so let's not. So time is always an issue, and I don't think it's just for the program, but in everyday life when you're teaching. But I think that what I did is I put together the lessons that I thought were the most important for this week. So I combined the material and then make sure that I taught it before and then give enough time for the kids to be able to practice. Well, first I look at the levels of my kids in the class, and then based on the levels, I plan based on what the needs they have and then what they need to achieve. So I combine that information again to plan my lessons. I love read aloud, so I love how the kids are always very excited to hear stories and then share their ideas about what we read. I love that I was able to use all the skills for this week in my read aloud, even though a lot of people don't realize that I have 2 grade levels in my classroom, so I was able to use a read aloud for the 5th grade and use it with my 4th graders, but I was able to use all the skills. I love that the kids were able to recognize the point of view, characters, and then the word studies that we had for this week. What I didn't feel that it went well, and it's every time that I have groups, is that I'm not able to be there with every single group. So for example, I had a group that it was my mistake, I put the wrong story, so the poor kids for 20 minutes were kind of wondering what they needed to do, and it was because I wasn't able to go and provide that clarification. Okay, so with the benchmark, we're supposed to do little centers. We call it centers. I call it flexible groups because for every unit, my kids need different skills. So they're flexible in regards to where they go. So while I was doing the reading, then I had 7 different groups where I incorporated the skills from the benchmark into a technology group, a writing group, a word study group, and then read, think, and write group. So I used all the materials from the benchmark to create the flexible groups.